Wonderful to see so many of you here today on this Monday, October 19th. My name is Bettina Swigger and I'm the CEO of Downtown SLO. Thanks to many of you returners. If there's anybody who's new to the call, this is a weekly call that we do with our downtown businesses and our partners at the city, at Cal Poly, at the Chamber, other economic development agencies around the San Luis Obispo community. And we have these calls every week to kind of get caught up to date on what is happening in the crazy world that is a day in the year 2020. So last week we took the week off, so we're going to catch up pretty quickly on where things are today. Last week we did have a meeting of our Downtown SLO Board of Directors, who are pictured here, and we had a really robust conversation about fundraising for our organization, which has been hit pretty hard by COVID-19 and the impacts to earned revenue, because a lot of our revenue comes from events, which are obviously not permitted for COVID-19 right now. And we also had a really robust conversation about the issue of homelessness and people who are experiencing houselessness in our community. And we'll be sharing some more about the results of those conversations in weeks to come. But I just wanted to let you all know that we are really thinking about this in new, innovative ways. And we're looking to our partners at the International Downtown Association and the National Main Street Association to learn about what other communities are doing to help people who are experiencing homelessness and prepare for what we think will be probably more people experiencing homelessness in the months and years to come because of the pandemic. So thank you to our board of directors for serving on as volunteers for our organization. If you are on the phone, if you could please mute yourself, thank you very much. Appreciate that very much. The other thing we talked about at the board meeting is a raffle. We have a very exciting raffle. The funds will go toward our Clean and Safe program, which again includes some outreach to our people who are homeless, as well as our ambassador program. We have 2 new ambassadors, and we'll introduce you to them later today, but you'll see Jennifer and Yadvir out there in the community. The Friends of Downtown SLO raffle has fabulous prizes, and there are going to be 3 drawings in November. So our board members are out there selling tickets to raise money. And if you want to buy one, you can call the office at 805-234-9678. And big thanks to our AmeriCorps VIP service member, Cassidy, for doing a lot of work on the raffle this week. So with that, I'll let our COO, Rachel Maiorino, talk about today's reality. Rachel?
Thanks, Bettina. So as of Friday, 3,685 cases of COVID have been reported, 3,985 cases of COVID have been reported in SLO County. Tina, if you could jump back one slide. And the city of SLO accounts for 745 of those. The total number of deaths due to COVID-19 is 32 in our county, and our thoughts are with their loved ones. We know this is affecting not only our county and our community, but people across the rest of California, our nation, and the world. Testing is available, and you can learn more at readyslo.org. I'll pop some of these links into the chat as I move on. So on this slide, we are currently in the substantial or red tier for the state's blueprint for a safer economy. This highlights the core metrics of the stages for reopening, these percentages. We are truly, really on the edge. This information does lag, so tomorrow we'd be getting an update based on a little bit of prior information that I'm sharing on the slide prior. And again, I'll share this in the chat, but the county has done a really good job of having our testing higher, which is able to give us an adjusted case rate, which is why we're really just hanging on that tier 2. So just a reminder, everyone doing their part, because we truly are on the edge of potentially moving backwards into the more widespread category. And with that, Bettina, I will turn it back over to you.
Great, thank you, Rachel. Yeah, and just a few notes on the difference between that purple and that red category. The operations that are really affected especially include indoor dining, and we saw some extraordinary effort by the city to put all the parklets into effect. So we know some of the restaurants have been able to expand their operations, and that's really saved them as that industry is really suffering. But we want to make sure that we don't go backward, because if there is any operations that are outside of the operations as they are defined in the guideline for your specific business, that really does have an impact on our community. So I think we'll hear some more from Cal Poly a little bit later in the call today about their efforts to make sure that we're stopping those gatherings and encouraging people not to hang out in indoors for long periods of time. But it really is challenging. And if you own a food and beverage establishment, we please implore you to read through the guidelines and make sure that you're operating within those guidelines, because it's just critically important. We don't want to move backward. We want to be moving forward. So with that, we're going to move into a very packed schedule of guest speakers today. And I'm very happy to invite our friend Charlene Rosales to join us today. Charlene, how are you this morning?
I'm great, thank you.
So good to see you.
I'm really happy to see all these friendly and familiar faces. I'm really excited. Let me see, I'm trying to get my screen up. Thought I had it all set up here.
And Charlene, while you're in getting that set up, can you tell us about your new role?
Yes, so I just joined Mission Community Services Corporation about 3 months ago. We run 3 women's business centers in 3 different counties. My role is as the Deputy Director for the San Luis Obispo Women's Center, and I'm also in charge of our COVID response across all 3 centers. So taking our grants funding and implementing it so that we can help individuals and small businesses recover and be sustainable throughout the pandemic. So it's really exciting work. I think, I'd like to kick it off just by saying we continue to have people come to us every single week who are interested in starting businesses. And we have a lot of people who have been adapting ever since the beginning of the year. And so it gives me great pride that we're able to provide our services, as well as to be able to see that people are hanging in there and they're starting new businesses, and it's pretty inspiring. So I know a lot of our information and meetings can be a bit doom and gloom, but I'm happy to say that we have people in San Luis Obispo, Kern, and Monterey County that are they're working hard, and many are thriving. So wanted to tell you a little bit about our organization, Mission Community Services Corporation. We focus on providing opportunities to women, men, low income, minority, veterans, and nonprofit businesses to help start or expand their businesses. We are focused on small business owners and helping to set them up for success and continue to grow their businesses within their local communities and provide a strong economic contribution. So MCSC, or Mission Community Services Corporation, is the nonprofit that hosts the 3 women's business centers. So there are 3 core services that we provide, and they include entrepreneurial training in both English and Spanish, no-cost small business consulting, and monthly business growth and startup workshops. We are funded through the SBA and through the Governor's Office of Business and Economic Development, as well as through other grant opportunities and sponsorships. So a little bit more about our core services. We like to say that our core services do get results. We offer long-term or 10-week training courses in both English and Spanish. It's called Explore, Design, and Launch, and this provides clients with the foundational tools and resources as they're starting to launch or grow their companies. By the end of the 10-week course, one of the significant milestones that our clients are asked to achieve, and they do, is to walk out of that last session and their graduation with a fully complete business plan. Super important foundational component for businesses to succeed. And so that is what our long-term training course provides. We host about 4 to 6 of those every year. No-cost business consulting, we are able to do that through, again, generous sponsorships and the grants that we have. So we have a team of professional consultants that have expertise in all different types of areas of business. And so we match our clients with the consultant that is going to provide them with the most benefit. And the no cost comes just from the simple support that we're able to gain with our partners. The business consulting can either be done while someone is in the midst of taking a long-term training class, or more often it has to do with people who need advice as they've started their business, but they need additional resources. And then finally, every week we offer several workshops or brown bag lunches to be able to, number one, provide a kind of a networking opportunity, but also really hit on different topics and trends that are important to business people. So that might be learning how to do QuickBooks. We recently held one to develop a holiday marketing plan, how to work with your team remotely, all sorts of topics and a wide variety of information. So just to pull a quick snapshot of some of our statistics from both the San Luis Obispo and Monterey Women's Business Centers in this past year. So our fiscal year ends on September 30th. And so this snapshot is from October of last year through the end of August this year. So you can see the number of unique clients that we serve. We really get excited about the new business starts and how many jobs have been created and or saved. And we did a significant amount of consulting on loan acquisition, and you can see some of those numbers there. And at the bottom, the number of training events that we do and how many attendees access our services.
Great.
So like Downtown SLO and other organizations, we're really considered ourselves some of the economic first responders to the COVID pandemic. We were able to transition all of our workshops to virtual delivery and build up our resource libraries. We partnered with SCORE and SBDC to hold workshops throughout this past year. And our focus going forward will continue to be serving underserved communities and really our diverse clientele as they're continuing to seek resiliency training.
Shar, are you trying to share a screen? Because we're not seeing it on our end.
Oh, no, I see it perfectly. Okay.
You're giving us great information. Just wanted to make sure that.
Yeah. Well, if it's any consolation, I'm not reading from the slides, so I guess that's a good thing. I always pride myself on that, and you can't even see it.
Would you like me to pull up the website?
Sure, that would be great. Don't know why you're not seeing it.
That's okay. I do that from time to time, as everybody on this call will.
Yeah, it always seems like Zoom is a different adventure every single time. There's always, you have 5 in a row that go perfectly, and then something just does not work. So to kind of, we're almost done. So for disaster recovery and technical assistance for small businesses, funding from the CARES Act has allowed us to do a significant amount of work for our clients in economic injury disaster loans, the EIDL, payroll protection program, and also pandemic unemployment assistance. As you can imagine, the bulk of that work happened prior to summertime, but we do still have people coming to us and trying to navigate the system. And then finally, again, we work with the Governor's Office of Office of Business and Economic Development. And so we do have technical assistance and a technical assistance expansion grant, which allows us to help fuel new growth and outreach in all 3 of the counties. We're part of the California Association of Women's Business Centers. There are 14 throughout the state of California and about 100 nationwide. And working with these groups allows us to leverage our partner grant dollars. It has allowed for an extensive cross-center collaboration and combining of resources, and also be able to develop some best practices throughout this pandemic. We are celebrating 15 years of being in operation. That our anniversary was on October 1st, so we'll be celebrating all this coming year. Our website is mcscorp.org, and I'm going to wrap there. And if there's any questions, I will be happy to get this presentation out to you, Rachel, if that would be of benefit to anybody if they want to see more.
Yes, we would love that, Shar, and we'll send it out after the meeting. I've noted everyone who's here, and we can send it out to you following the meeting.
Great, thank you. Sorry about that.
Thank you. I do have a question for you. I was interested in the fact that you said that you offer services in Spanish.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that that's been something that we've wanted to kind of connect more with Spanish speakers in downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Do you offer any translation services, or do you have any resources that you might direct us to if a business wants to start advertising in Spanish as well as in English?
Yeah, we do. We've got consultants, bilingual consultants, and so they actually do a lot of our translation work for our materials as well. So if anyone who wants to get connected, they can reach us, and we'll pair them with the consultant who can be a good fit for them.
That's great. Thanks so much.
Yeah, you're
Great to
welcome.
have you with us.
Thank you.
And is there an upcoming event you want to share in the chat?
Yeah, I can share with you some of our upcoming workshops, and this will again just be kind of a small picture of what we offer, but we offer a wide variety, and I'll also put our website link in there as well.
Great. Okay. Well, thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right. Up next, we have our weekly update from the City of SLO. We're going to invite a couple of speakers from the City of SLO today. First up, we're going to invite Lee Johnson. How are you doing this morning, Lee?
Good, Bettina. How about you?
Doing well.
Excellent. Couple quick things. Just follow up on what Rachel said. We are definitely on the edge as far as data. And so if we do not improve our metrics, we will likely be heading in the wrong direction. So everyone needs to do everything we can do to try and keep the case counts down and our testing up so that we can stay in the red and hopefully work our way even better as we move forward. Also, we put together a list of kind of an infographic on all the things that the city has done to support local businesses. Not everybody sees everything because it goes across sectors and everything else. So I'll throw a link to that into the chat for anybody who's interested. Also, a couple other things, a lot of focus on some of the homeless situations and the things we're trying to do to deal with a very challenging situation. There's been updates coming out from the city through various channels, also via the Trib and all those things. So we're continuing to work on that. We're also working with Caltrans because there's a lot of challenges in the jurisdictional areas and what's Caltrans property and all those kind of things. So we're actively working on that. We also have the budget review tomorrow night. So there's been a lot of impacts from COVID to the city budget, everything. So we'll be updating the city council tomorrow night on all of those impacts. And then this week, there are various hearings and things related to some of the previous protest activity, and those can and sometimes do generate other events and protests and things that happen. And we will always keep everybody updated via our website and social as we learn what events are taking place, those kind of things. So other than that, that's it for me. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.
Thank you, Lee. Touching on the budget review, can you give us any kind of a preview of what it looks like? Is it better? Is it worse?
I will. I don't want to steal Brigitte and Derek's thunder, but no, I think it's, from what I understand, it's more or less as we anticipated, with some things being up a little bit, down a little bit, but it looks like our the forecasting that we did on how the year would end, that kind of stuff, was pretty close to accurate. So it's really more of an update than having to require any action from council.
Great. Okay. And those meetings are at 6 o'clock, and you can tune in from wherever you like. Sometimes I like to go to the beach and watch city council from there. So it's a little darker now, so maybe I'll curtail that activity. All right, thanks very much. And we're looking ahead at a little bit of a cooler week, so hopefully that will make downtown a little bit more pleasant to be in. It was certainly a scorcher last week. And our next guest from the city of SLO is Molly Kano, the tourism coordinator. And Molly, I understand you're going to give us an exciting update on some of the work that you've been doing to support local business activities.
Yes, you got it. So let me see if I can go ahead and, all right, can you see the deck that's up?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, yes, good morning. Thank you. And as Lee mentioned, the city has been operating a robust campaign in many different facets to be able to help support our businesses, both in the downtown as well as across our community overall as well. So I was here with you at the beginning of August and took you through some of the components that were made up within the Support Local program that is being operated through the city via the Promotional Coordinating Committee, or the PCC. And so now that we've completed the first quarter of activities, I'd like to walk you through some of the results and some of the components which you may be familiar with or you may be interested in also taking advantage of for some of our businesses on the call here. So I'll walk you through a little bit of that. But again, the city has rolled out a Support Local program. The Support Local program, really, as is stated on the slide, it's to help support our local businesses through this, year-long program that we've rolled out. We've rolled it out in a way that it's really made up of a series of micro campaigns, really kind of tackling what are the issues at hand, or what are the most important things that we need to communicate or help share with our consumers during that specific period of time. And so as we follow, as we go through this work and we take a look at what the needs are of the businesses in our community, primarily, retail, consumer-facing type businesses, food and beverage, really those direct interaction with our consumers. We've developed a collaborative and really a comprehensive campaign, everything starting with, of course, our business engagement first and foremost, and then taking the full campaign through what we call our POEM, our paid, owned, earned, and managed approach. So I'm going to walk you through what some of the various tactics and results are within that. All right, so starting with our SLO business engagement, when we talked about this back in August, for those of you who are part of the call at that point in time, we talked about the business survey that we had rolled out as kind of the follow-up to the survey that we had done last spring. This was specific to the businesses, asking the question of how can we help you, knowing that, that marketing had been one of the top items that came out of the original business survey, wanting to understand, when we dove in a little deeper, what marketing meant to them. So we had over 1,400 respondents within the city of SLO businesses that gave us a little insight of what they were looking for. And what rose to the top of that was promotion from the city through access to our networks, if you will. So our various channels, websites, and really the gamut that the city is able to offer. And so that was the foundation and really starting point for how we started developing and rolling out what this campaign looked like. One of the things we also wanted to know is, we have our ear to the ground and are hearing what businesses are doing and what they're saying, but we also know that there's some businesses that have more to the story that they want to tell us. So the city launched a business promotion interest form, which I know we've talked about on this call and have distributed through a number of emails, about 5 emails, and then through our partners both at Downtown SLO and at the Chamber, to get that out to the business community. We had 45 entries of that business form received, and we've been utilizing that form and the businesses that have expressed interest in participating in these programs with us in order to deliver some of the that we're looking at today. All right. So when we're taking a look at what our poem makeup is and how we're approaching the promotions, really first we're starting with what does our owned channels and our managed channels look like, and how can we use content to help tell the story of what's going on here in our community. So we rolled out a number of different business promotion campaigns through our social media channels and through the city's website and the visitslo.com website, which is of course the city's tourism website. So the business promotion opportunities from that included our Ticket Tuesday, which had been an incredibly successful campaign in the past, really promoting events and experiences within our community. However, as we all pivoted, word of the year, we took a look at how to approach Ticket Tuesday in a new way. So every Tuesday through our Share SLO Instagram, we feature a business that is interested in offering some sort of a giveaway package, and basically get that additional added promotion specific to their business. So we launched this on July 21st. Since then, we featured 9 businesses, again, pulling from those business response forms. We've had 805 people participate in the giveaways, and our engagement is pretty high in this category as well. In addition, we launched what's called the SLO Business Insider, and this is a feature that runs both on our Facebook as well as our Instagram channels. And again, this runs through Share SLO. This is a bi-monthly feature, so every other week. We began this in August, and since then we've been able to feature 3 businesses. And that takes us through the end of September. So, of course, we're continuing to roll that out here in October as well. And we've had over 4,000 engagements on those SLO Business Insider features as well. So this includes an Instagram story that features, and you can kind of see some of the images up here, a little snapshot of what the business is and what the business, kind of some fun facts or interesting things to know. As well as a blog that supports that gets a little bit more in depth, that tells the story of the business, features, some of the interesting work that they're doing. And then that, of course, lives on the blog at visitslo.com. And so that blog is called the Meet Your Neighbor, and so it's Meet Your Neighborhood and various type of businesses. So for example, today, Meet Your Neighborhood Candy Shop just rolled out featuring SLO Sweets, for example. And so again, up until from August until the end of September, we were able to feature 3 businesses who had, again, submitted an interest to participate in that through our business participation form. So in addition, while we focused on the owned content that we could create and help tell the story for the businesses, we also knew that getting our consumers engaged and feeling comfortable about getting back out, visiting our businesses, and really, growing that consumer confidence was going to be pivotal into the success of not only this campaign, but really the recovery for all of your businesses. And so one of the components that we rolled out in August, this took place through the month of August, it was called the SLO Ready Challenge. And so what the SLO Ready Challenge did, it was a social media challenge where over the month of August, we encouraged locals to share photos of themselves via social media, Instagram specifically, supporting our local businesses in safe practices. So through the month of August, we had 58 qualified entries into the program. So folks that had actually gone through and submitted all of their information. We also had 463 uses of the hashtag, the SLO Ready hashtag, during that period of time. In addition, we did a big local media push to help get local media to share the story and to get people engaged in that and help build and support that consumer confidence. We had 2 local media articles that reached about 179,000 people. And last but not least, within the SLO Ready Challenge, we also partnered with Enjoy SLO, a local influencer who helped spread the word on what SLO Ready and the SLO Ready Challenge was all about. So while the managed content and owned content was being created, while the challenge was out there and running, we were in the process of developing what the micro campaign looked like for SLO Ready to help get the word out there. And so we put together a series of social media ads in the form of a carousel ad, and I'll take you through those results in just a moment. But in addition, we also filmed a short video, about a 30-second video, which I will pull up to share with you all, and this will be the 15-second that I'll be showing you, that helped our local businesses welcome back the consumers here in our community. So we're gonna hope that audio shows this.
We're ready to welcome you safely.
Please wear a mask and practice social distancing. So grab a bite and enjoy our outdoor seating.
Or shop for something that makes you smile.
Thank you for supporting local.
It means the world to us.
All right. So we were able to put together, just close that out.
Dance party Monday morning.
I know. There's always fun happening over here. So let's go ahead and, okay, can you see the slides up again? Okay,
yes.
Great. So we were able to put together that video, and really we used that video as our programmatic spend, as really the advertising that we were able to roll out. And so we used that series of the carousel ad via social media, and then that great video that you just saw, you know, in all of our other digital channels. And so we were able to roll out a paid campaign focused on really targeting the San Luis Obispo County region, which also then reach includes also down to Santa Maria. So it was about Santa Maria all the way up through the county to really tell that story for locals to come out, be safe, enjoy downtown, get back into San Luis Obispo and experience what we have to offer in a safe and healthy way. So you can see some of the results that we were able to achieve there. In total, nearly 300,000 people were reached through this campaign through the month of August via social, and then through the expanded digital during the month of September. So as we continue to move forward, we are looking at what Q2 looks like. So what really the holiday season, if you will, looks like. And so just last week, the PCC took a look at some campaign concepts, and they approved the micro campaign for the holiday season, focusing on a concept of slow bright. We're in the process of creating a new video. So again, refreshing that video. We know video performs extremely well for us. So refreshing that video to a holiday, you know, to really a holiday focus for paid media. Also creating all of the social graphics and everything that we need to help build that organic awareness, which we will again also be sharing with Downtown SLO and our partners over at the SLO Chamber as well. We'll continue to push out our Ticket Tuesday weekly posts, our SLO Business Insider, again, you know, those owned and managed components that we have, and putting an additional focus on our local and regional media, and expanding some influencer partnerships as well. So continuing to really focus on building that awareness, get the word out, and inviting folks to come back into San Luis Obispo and support our local businesses. And that's it for me.
Great. Thank you so much, Molly. Really informative. Great work. It's interesting to see the power of tourism marketing step up and get behind the local business, which obviously it's always something that you're working on, promoting tourism, but sometimes we don't get to see it because we live here and we're not the target audience for those materials. So it's just great to see all of those metrics and the great projects that are coming out.
Yeah, it's our pleasure. And really, you know, tourism plays a huge part in all of this. But the meat of this, and really what this is, what this effort is being performed through, is through our promotional coordinating committee as well. And so, promotional coordinating committee, the PCC, you know, they're really tasked with not only enhancing the visitor experience in partnership with the TBID when they arrive, but also really highlighting and emphasizing, you know, what the quality of life is, and how to enhance that quality of life for our residents as well. So a mix of both.
Great. Well, really, really fun, and we're looking forward to an exciting holiday season with the SLO Bright and the Light Up Downtown that'll be coming up, and we'll be sharing more information about what that's going to look like in the weeks to come.
Thanks, Bettina.
All right, up next, we have Courtney Kino from Cal Poly. Welcome, Courtney.
Thanks so much. And as Molly was giving her report, something that she usually helps very much with is our Mustang Family Weekend, which brings a ton of people into town. And this year we obviously had to encourage everyone not to travel, and our 1,400 participants are all going to be engaging with all those events virtually, which just feels like another sting a little bit in this season. But Molly's fantastic, and we so appreciate all that she does to help us promote Cal Poly events too. So with that, thanks so much for having me again this morning. We're starting our 6th week of classes today, and we shift to hold all classes virtually starting November 20th, asking students that once they go home for Thanksgiving, that they don't return again until January, the start of winter quarter, which is January 4th. As of Friday, we have 202 students who have tested positive for COVID-19 since early July. As a reminder, this is the numbers that we report at Cal Poly are the students who've tested through our campus health and well-being on campus. So it does not include students who are tested through county sites or private labs. We have 26 students in isolation on campus, 13 in quarantine, and 320 who are in quarantine in place. There's a massive testing effort going on, and which I believe is helping some of the county numbers in terms of overall testing and our percentage. We've committed to testing our students, especially our on-campus residential students and students who visit campus for any reason, 5 times over the fall quarter. Students are also required to do we're calling a daily symptom screener. So they get a prompt through their email every morning and have to go through and identify if they have any symptoms or have had any contact with anyone that is tested positive, and then are given a green or a red pass, which allows them or denies them access to being on campus at all. We are now also offering testing to faculty and staff, especially those that are working in essential roles on campus. And then, as Bettina mentioned a little bit or hinted at earlier, we have a lot of focus and effort on discouraging students from gathering, and definitely encouraging them to abide by all public health guidelines. You know, I have friends and community members who are often reaching out about noise or party concerns. So in addition to letting San Luis PD know about any incident you might happen to witness, I also thought I'd share the Office of Student Rights and Responsibilities report and incident page, and I'll put that in the chats as soon as I'm done with my report. But they are the on-campus sort of accountability group, so holding students accountable. We're really reinforcing the message that students can be suspended or expelled if they are found to be in violation of any of the public health orders. And I'll also post in the chats our coronavirus webpage, our main site, where you can find the updates to our counts and all the messaging that we send out to our campus community as well. So thanks for having me.
Thank you, Courtney. I have a quick question for you about the 300 students who are quarantined in place.
Mm-hmm.
what is that experience like for them?
Yeah, great question. So there's, as I mentioned, so there's isolate students. Those are students who've tested positive. There's quarantine students, which means they have had contact or interaction with someone that has tested positive. So it's likely that they may get coronavirus or test positive. And then quarantine in place, which is residential campus. So students who live on campus who have had a student on their hall test positive. So they may have had no interaction with the student, but we are, out of an abundance of caution, locking down the whole hall. And so for those students, they are told that they can leave their room, but only to get food. So they have to wear a mask the whole time. They can go get food and come right back to their room. They can exercise by themselves only. And there's a bunch of guidelines very specifically about what they can and cannot do. Mostly they have to stay in their rooms, but that gives you kind of an idea of what it's like to live in that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's there are different degrees of quarantine, I guess. So
only for Cal Poly. That's a special. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like different state guidelines, different counties operating under different tiers. But we appreciate all the work that you're doing to make sure that the testing is happening and that you're doing the best you can. So that website is really good for looking up the state numbers. I mean, the Cal Poly numbers. And we'll look forward to hearing from you again next week. So thanks, Courtney.
Thank you.
All right. Up next, Mr. Jim D'Antona from the SLO Chamber. How are you this morning?
Doing great, Bettina. Good to see you. Great to see everybody on today. Thanks for having us as always. We obviously really appreciate being able to have this conversation, hear all the things that are going on. This week, we have a couple things going out. So if you're a member of the Chamber, we certainly want to welcome, we're about to send out our council and committee applications. So looking for our, next set of committee members who help kind of shape and guide our discussions. An especially important year to be doing that as we are looking at, the constant changes, what's going to happen in this upcoming election, what's going to happen with COVID, what's going to happen in general overall. And so our council and committees kind of shape that policy. So those are going to go out. And so if you are a member or if you know folks who you think should be a part, who are members of the Chamber but haven't been part of the council committee, we're looking to, again, grow the diversity of opinions of all of our members. So we're looking forward to that going out this week. Additionally, we can be here at the, we'll go with the, we have our SLO virtual mixer coming up on the 21st, Wednesday. Really a great opportunity. Doesn't cost anything. You should join. And what we do is we get everybody together and get you into breakout rooms. So you end up with a group of 8 or 9 to just talk about what's going on, make connections to folks. And it keeps getting better and better as we figure out how to make them better connecting points. But again, if you've been to our in-person mixers and our virtual mixers, I think you'll find the virtual mixers, if you're looking to connect to people in our community, it's an amazing way to do it because there's a lot of great conversations of folks you wouldn't normally probably get to meet in our mixers. So that's coming up this Wednesday. So we look forward to having folks there. And then obviously we have Good Morning SLO on Thursday and really enjoying this virtual version. Certainly we wish we could be in person to see everybody, but we have a lot of great folks speaking on topics this week. From foster care, looking at wind energy, mental health, but also homeless services, wildfires. And we got a great speaker, a relative of the former Supreme Court Justice, just to talk about what life is like that. I think that may have to turn into something bigger. But we're also doing, speaking of raffles and looking forward to the Downtown SLO one, we're going to be doing our raffle at pulling the Leadership SLO wine raffle. If you've bought a ticket to that, will be pulled at that Good Morning SLO. So hopefully, if you have your ticket ready, you can be there. We're going to do that drawing on that day. Again, really appreciate all the work that Downtown SLO is doing, especially on this, the homeless issues. We've, again, and we at the Chamber are on the same page on this one, and trying to find ways to help kind of tackle this issue, and for both sides, and making this a win-win situation. So thanks for having us today, and we look forward to doing more with you guys.
Thanks, Jim. Good stuff going on this week. All right, up next, we have the SBDC. We haven't had anybody from this agency in a while, so now I've forgotten who is here from it. Oh my goodness.
I'm here today, Olivia here.
Oh, Olivia, I'm so sorry.
Hi. Hi, everyone. I am Olivia, and I'm the project coordinator for the Cal Poly CIE Small Business Development Center. Yes, it has been a while since we've been here joining the call, but I'm happy to join today. So thank you so much for having us. So quick update from our center. We do have a workshop coming up this Friday, and I will go ahead and share some more information about that. We're very excited. This is actually our first hybrid version workshop where we are offering both virtual and in-person seats. Very limited seating. We only have about 5 or less available. So if you guys are interested in attending, it's a QuickBooks tax reporting workshop put on by the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship's Director of Finance and Operations, Damon Watkins. This workshop is very intensive. It's from 1 to 4 p.m. on Friday. It's part 3 of our QuickBooks workshop series, but you do not have to attend part 1 or 2 prior to joining this Friday. Like I said, there's very limited seats available in person, but we do have about 11 left for our virtual seats. We like to keep our group count small for these to offer a lot of opportunity for Q&A from small business owners or anyone looking to receive additional QuickBooks tips, tricks, and advice. And then one quick thing before I close, we have added our webinars onto our website. So that includes our coffee and conversations and our workshops and webinars that are available to view after they have streamed live online. And I will put all of the information in the chat here with the registration page and the link to access our additional webinars.
Great, thanks, Olivia. I've also noticed that your very helpful newsletters that come out, I think weekly or every other week, included recently some very pertinent information about anybody who took out a PPP in the amount of less than $50,000. Do you want to touch briefly on that?
Yeah, so there is a new and improved loan forgiveness formula for that. That information, we can give an update on that next time we join the call if you'd like. But yes, there is some update on the PPP. So if you are a client of the SBDC, our consultants are able to assist with that. We do still have our COVID-19 task force in place. So even though the wave of loans have kind of passed, we still have our task force in place. So we're still assisting our small businesses on those subjects and topics. So if you do need assistance or advice on those PPP loans, our consultants are still here to assist with that.
Great, thank you very much. And one last question before you go. Are you hearing anything from the state about any additional funding that might be coming down, or is that?
Haven't heard anything about that yet. So no, I guess right now the answer for that would be no.
Okay, all right, understandable. Well, thanks. Maybe we'll get an update in the positive one of these days. All right. Well, that was a lot of updates from many of our stakeholders in economic development. Thanks so much to everybody for sharing. Always great to have such great information in front of us. And now I'm going to bring up something that is everyone's favorite topic when we talk about downtown, and that is parking. So as of today, the parking in the structures is now, you have to pay for it, but they are expanding the grace period, so you can have the first 2 hours of your parking in any of the structures free. So thank you very much to the city's Parking Services Division for expanding that grace period. And we really appreciate the free parking that came, and we knew this day was coming, but like all good things, they must come to an end. So please spread the word to your staff, to your employees, especially that this is coming, and we'll look forward to seeing how that goes. And maybe we'll get a parking update in the next couple of weeks. We have another exciting parking and access update that I just received this morning, just prior to beginning our meeting. So there is going to be a bike lane installed on Monterey Street. And I saw the construction crews out there. They were paving, leveling the pavement in front of the chamber. And they're going to be putting in a restriped bike lane on Monterey in front of Giuseppe's and Finney's. And that is super exciting. So there'll be a little bit of construction. It shouldn't be impacting things too much, but the update that I saw is that that's going to be finished by Wednesday. So great news. Now we have more bike lanes on Monterey and bike lane on Higuera right now. So that's pretty cool to look at. I want to thank the 35 plus volunteers who came downtown on our downtown cleanup day on October 10th. And I also want to thank Cassidy, our AmeriCorps service member VIP. She did a wonderful job coordinating that, along with our ambassadors and our team lead. The volunteers cleaned up about half a dumpster worth of trash, scraped a ton of gum, cleaned all of the benches, all of the trash cans, removed a bunch of graffiti, and the downtown foresters came out and pruned a bunch of the trees on Higuera Street and Garden Street, and a little bit at Choro. So it was really a fun day. We got a lot of positive feedback from people who were out and about in the community. We had families come out with their children. Love to see that service training for families. And we'll be doing this probably on a quarterly basis. So join us for the next time we do this. We provide personal equipment for people so you could feel safe and go out there and clean it up. And I think everybody had a really nice time. Thank you also to the businesses who donated thank you gifts to our volunteers. We continue to have the seating in Mission Plaza for Downtown Dine Out. It's a great place to gather, have a cup of coffee outside, take takeout or take your lunch. So enjoy that program. And we are also offering our produce pickup boxes through SLO Veg. You can get your fruits and vegetables on Thursday, even though the farmer's market is not in operation. So if you order online, you can pick up your box on Thursdays from 12 to 7 p.m. at our office. So please do that. They have great produce. And I personally have been enjoying them. The pears last week were fantastic. Last week, I had the opportunity to attend, or actually it was the week before last now, I had the opportunity to attend the virtual International Downtown Association conference. And it was really it was great to gather, even though it was completely not the same, to be in a virtual Zoom room instead of in actual person, but always good to connect with colleagues and to hear how similar and different our community's struggles are to what is going on in all downtowns and all business districts. So I'm hoping I'll put together some learning from that in the weeks to come. And we'll also be sharing some of the resources that we learned from them about how we're going to make the holidays really, really sparkle downtown. So with that, we're going to move into our polling. We're at 10:55. It's been a little bit of a long meeting today. Thanks for bearing with us. So go ahead and fill out this poll, what your general level of confidence is for your business and the economic well-being of downtown in general. You can see that we are kind of all over the map here, but we continue to have a pretty low turnout and a very pessimistic crowd, which is good. I think those of you who call in regularly to these meetings are more optimistic and ready to face the week. Hopefully we make your Mondays a little bit brighter. We've gotten about half of you who've completed the poll. If you have tuned out of the Zoom and are in your email, come back to the Zoom, take this poll, and we can share out the information here. I think that's probably all we're going to get. You can see the results there. People are feeling a little bit somewhat pessimistic today. I'm sorry for that. I hope that we can maybe give you some good news, that some good news might be coming out of the federal plan. I'll keep my eyes peeled for that, but with the possibility of teetering on the precipice to go back to purple, it's understandable that that's not what's happening. Let's go ahead to the next one. What is the biggest challenge facing your business today? So today, October 19th, what are you worried about? This one has continued to be that uncertain consumer confidence. Totally makes sense. We see that there is, people are continuing to lose their jobs nationally at an alarming rate. Some of your businesses may have come back quickly. There are different industries that are doing quite well, some that are suffering, some industries that are not given any chance to reopen at all in the current guidelines, such as performing arts, and there are others out there who are facing uncertainty. But it's really just, what are people going to do with their dollars? How are they going to spend? And where are they going to put their feet? So that continues to be the number one answer that we have today, is that uncertain consumer confidence. So hopefully the updates that you got today from our partners in economic development, all of the fantastic organizations that are working hard to give you the tools to make your business operate smoothly, operate at a level where you can continue to thrive, where you can continue to employ people, where you can continue to be a part of our community. It's all helpful, and it's all part of us, and it takes us all working together. So with that, we are coming up on 11 o'clock. This was a meaty meeting, and we really appreciate you joining us week after week. We hope you find this information valuable. We'll continue to push out information as it changes. And we'll all be watching tomorrow. Tuesday is when the county status will get updated. And we encourage you to read the emails that come from us and read the emails that come from the city of SLO. Thank you for your work. Keep your heads up. Remember to smile with your eyes, and I look forward to seeing everybody around downtown.